Jai Jagannath. Welcome all of you to my YouTube channel. Today I will discuss a very important concept of economy, that is specially it is very important for competitive aspirants because so many questions are coming from this topic in various competitive examination. I will clear you all about this inflation, what is inflation, the causes of inflation, and how can we measure the inflation rate. Okay. First, just I explain you what is inflation. You know that every day something, the price rises in most of the commodities. Last month the price was something, but it rises something this month. Suppose last month a thing costs, the thing cost of the thing was 5 rupees, and with 20 rupees we could purchase the 4 number of things, for 4 amount of things. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But due to price rises, then now this thing costs of 7 rupees, and with this 20 rupees we could able to purchase only 3 things, 3 commodities. Suppose we give an example, an egg. Egg was 5 rupees per unit last month, but it is 7 rupees per unit this month. So with the 20 rupees last month we are able to purchase 4 eggs, but now we are able to purchase only 3 eggs with 20 rupees. Okay. It means the value of 20 rupees reduced. The value of 20 rupees reduced. Okay. When this situation arises, the price rises and the value of money falls. This is the situation of inflation. Okay. When price rises and the value of money decreases, this is the situation of inflation. But we can call this term, we can say this term as inflation. This inflation is a very important for every economic nowadays, because every economy is affected by this term inflation. It is a major challenge to every economy. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now let us discuss the inflation. Inflation means, inflation is a situation of an economy where there is continuous and persistent rise in general price level. Okay. It is a situation where there is a continuous rise in the price level, general price level, but a not temporary situation. When price rises temporarily, we cannot say it the inflation, but continuous rise in price level for some days, gradually rising in the price level. Okay. Well, when the price rises, the value of money falls. Okay. Because we can be able to purchase the less amount of commodities with the same commodities with the same currency, with the same amount of currency, same amount of currency. This is the inflation. When price rises, the value of money falls. The purchasing power of the money falls, drops. So this is the situation of inflation. Okay. Inflation is mainly two types. Inflation arises mainly due to two reasons. First one is demand pull inflation, and the second one is cost pull inflation. Okay. First one is demand pull inflation. What does it mean? Demand pull inflation means when the aggregate demand of an economy rises and it is the availability of goods and services is comparatively less than the demand. It is the situation. It means when the aggregate demand of economy increases, aggregate demand of economy increases, but the supply of goods, availability of goods and services in the market, supply of goods and services in the market not equal with demand, but the supply of goods and services in the market falls. Okay. When the aggregate demand of an economy rises, the supply of goods and services in the market falls. When supply less but demand more, what will be the result? Automatically the price will rise. When demand is more and supply is less, the result will be price will rise. This is the situation of demand pull inflation. Okay. And where it is a situation where too much of money buys too few of commodities, Okay. Let us discuss what are the different causes of demand pull inflation. This is clear. When the aggregate demand of an economy increases but the supply of goods and services in the market falls, therefore the demand is more and supply is less, automatically the price will rise, and it is the situation where too much of money buys too few of commodities. The currency value reduces. Now just I am discussing the causes of inflation, demand pull inflation. What are the different causes? The first one is causes of demand pull inflation. First one is increasing government expenditure. Increasing in government expenditure. Okay. Second one is depreciation of exchange rate. Depreciation of exchange rate. And third one is low tax is. Fourth one is increased investment in capital goods. Okay. Fifth one is future expectation. And sixth one is rise in defense expenditure. Okay. Increase in government expenditure. When government expenditure rises, why does government spend more and more for the people? Because government is for the welfare of the people. Every government acts for the welfare of the people. So every government spends more and more money, huge money for the in different sectors like education, health, industry, and transport, communication. In different sectors, the government is spending more and more money towards the infrastructure facilities, towards the health and facilities, towards the benefit of the people, towards the welfare of the people. Okay. So when the government expenditure rises, then the availability, the disposable income at the hand of the people also rises, and they demand more. When they demand more, but supply of commodity has already fallen earlier, then automatically the price will rise. Okay. Second one is depreciation of exchange rate. When a currency it is depreciated in international market in exchange rate, what is the currency depreciation? The money value, the currency value reduces comparative to other currency. Suppose you now give an example, dollar. Now last month the 85 rupees we are required to purchase $1, but now 87 rupees or 90 rupees is required to purchase $1. Then our money value has been reduced. So this is the depreciation. When the value of currency reduces compared to other currency. In this case, the export will be cheaper and import will be dearer. Export will be cheaper and import will be dearer. The people demand more and more of the export commodities, so that the price will rise automatically. And the third one is low tax. Low tax means in budgetary provision where government reduces the tax system on the individual, then the real income of the people rises. At that time, the real income, when the real income means the people demand more and more of the commodities, automatically the price will rise because the supply of commodities has fallen already. And fourth cause is increased investment in capital goods. What is capital good? We understand that capital goods means the investment in which field it will generate the production in future. Suppose in road transports, machineries, raw materials. In this case, when the government invests more and more commodities, that is the increased investment in capital goods. And it is also one of the important causes to rise the price in essential commodities. Okay. Then future expectation. Sometimes when price rises more and more continuously, and the people expect that the price will rise more in future, so now at present they demand more and more because the price will rise higher and higher in future. So when price rises more and more, the people also demand more of the more commodity because the people expect that the future price will be rise higher, more and more. That is the future expectation. And the sixth one is rise in defense expenditure. You see that every economy, every nation, every country is spending more and more money towards the national security of their nation, because defense is the crucial for every country. Every country, defense is very important. When the government spends more and more money towards the defense side, then price will rise automatically. Okay, these are the various causes of demand pull inflation. Let us discuss the causes of cost push inflation. What is cost push inflation and its different causes? Okay, cost push means the cost of production when rises. When cost of production rises, the price will rise automatically. Causes of cost push inflation. Cost push inflation means price rises due to fall in supply of essential goods, supply of essential goods, at that time purchasing power of currency drops. As a result, supply cost rises. This is the cost pull inflation. Okay, price rises due to fall in supply of essential commodities. At that time, purchasing power of currency drops. At the result, supply cost rises. Okay, the causes. What are the different causes? Causes are increasing cost of raw material, rising cost of raw materials. Second, rising wage rate of laborers. Third, speculation and hoarding. Fourth one is fluctuation prices in crude oil, fluctuation of prices in crude oil. Fifth one is rise in interest rate by RBI. Sixth one is rise in indirect taxes. Okay, there are many causes for cost push inflation, but I am presenting here some important causes. Rising cost of raw materials. When price of the raw material rises, automatically the production cost rises, and finally the price of the goods and commodities rises. This is the cause. Rising wage rate. This is also an important cause, because when wage rate of the laborers increases, then the cost of production increases. Finally, it leads to the price of commodities to rise. Okay, speculation and hoarding. Speculation and hoarding means every dealer and producer and wholesaler, this is the tendency of them to hoard or to stock something in their warehouse, so that they will sell these goods in future when price is high. They speculate that in future the price will be rising more and more, so their tendency is to stock these essential commodities now at present in their warehouse. This is the speculation and hoarding. Fluctuation prices in crude oil is also important cause to rise the price of essential commodities. Rise in interest rate of RBI and rise in indirect taxes. These are the also causes. These are the causes of cost push inflation. Now I am discussing the very important part of inflation. That is, how can you measure the inflation rate? Okay. For competitive students, this demand pull inflation and cost push inflation is very important, and its causes are important. What is inflation is also important. Now it is important also to measure the inflation rate. Now I am discussing this. How can we measure the inflation rate? Okay. When we have to calculate the inflation rate, there are two methods. There are two devices or two methods to calculate inflation rate. Inflation rate. Hello? Okay. First is CPI method. CPI means Consumer Price Index. Consumer Price Index method. And second one is WPI, Wholesale Price Index. Wholesale Price Index method. Okay. What is CPI? CPI measures the percentage change in average price, percentage change in the price of the change in the price of basket of goods and services consumed by households. Household. This is very important. CPI, what is CPI? CPI means the Consumer Price Index. What does it measure? It measures the percentage change in the price of basket of goods and services consumed by households. The essential what items to be included in the CPI? Let us discuss items to be included. All items are not included, but essential commodities, those are very important for household consumer. These items are to be included in CPI. What are they? First one is food items. Second one is house rent, fuel, transportation. House rent, transportation. Third, transportation, and medical care. Fourth one is medical care. medical care. These are the essential for general consumers, and these items, total items, all total necessary items to be included when we calculate CPI. Okay. We are taking only 4 examples, 4 items. Then CPI, first we have to take a base year. Okay, we have to take a base year, because base year is a year in which prices are generally stable. What is base year? Base year means the year in which prices are generally stable. And first we have to take a base year. Base year. Suppose it is around running 2025. We take 2020 as a base year. Okay. Base year 2020. We take 2020 as a base year. Okay. Suppose some items are to be taken 2020 and 2025. Suppose in 2020 a bread cost was a piece of bread. A piece of bread was 10 rupees. Okay. Milk per liter was 30 rupees, and movie ticket was 50 rupees. 10 rupees, and internet charges was 50 rupees. Total 100 rupees. Okay. In 2020, a piece of bread cost was 10 rupees. A liter of milk was 30 rupees. A piece of movie ticket was 10 rupees, and internet charge was 50 rupees. Total 100 rupees we could spend. But now in 2005, price rises. The piece of bread costs now 15 rupees, and per liter milk is now 40 rupees, and movie ticket is now 15 rupees, and internet charges rises to 60 rupees. Total 130 rupees. Okay. Well, in the base year the price was 100 rupees, and now at present in 2025 the price was 130. Okay. Well, CPI is equal to current price of current year divided by price of base year. Price of base year of market of goods or basket of goods into 100. Okay. Then price of current year is now 130 rupees, and divided by price of base year was 100 rupees into 100 is equal to 130 rupees. CPI was 130. Okay. CPI of this current year. This is the current year CPI. Okay. 130 is current year CPI. Suppose last year the CPI was 120. Last year CPI was 120. Okay, current year CPI is 130. Last year, previous year, the CPI was 120. Now we can calculate the inflation rate. Hence, the inflation rate is equal to CPI of current year. CPI of current year, it is very important, you watch carefully. CPI of current year minus CPI of last year, divided by CPI of last year into 100. Can you see, all of you? CPI of current year minus CPI of last year divided by CPI of last year into 100. Okay. Then price of CPI of current year is 130. 130 minus 120 divided by 120 into 100 is equal to 10 by 120 into 100. Okay. (8.33%). Now the inflation rate is 8.33. Very simple calculation. This formula is applied when every country can measure the inflation rate. First they have to find the CPI of the current year and then take into account the CPI of the last year, then estimate the inflation rate. Okay, this is the CPI method. And now we will discuss what is the wholesale price index. Okay, wholesale price index means the average change in price of essential commodities at the wholesale level. Wholesale price index, WPI, or wholesale price index measures the average change in price of basket of goods at wholesale level before reach to the retailers. Okay, every wholesaler before reaching commodities at retailers or consumers, then at that wholesale level, at the producer level, the average change in price of goods and services is calculated. Okay, this same formula, and it is usually used at the producer level or wholesale level. It is usually used at producer or wholesale level. Okay, what items to be included in this WPI? Items are those items are included which are very important for national basis, for economy as a whole. Items to be included: crude oil, metals, metals, agriculture, agricultural commodities, okay, manufacture goods, manufactured goods, okay, because the weightage is assigned, the weightage are assigned to these commodities based on their national importance. Okay, same formula. First we have to calculate, we have to take a base year, and first we have to calculate what is the WPI, then we have to estimate WPI of current year, then we have to take into account the WPI of the previous year, and in the same formula wholesale price index is calculated. Okay, thank you.